KPKV Local News. This is Good Morning Northwest.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Jill Sperling, joined now by Chief Meteorologist Brianna Berman-Solo.
Hi Jill, it is a weather alert day. As we're warning you now, snow has made a huge comeback this winter. It has felt like spring for the majority of the month of February. You know, the groundhog called it 6 more weeks of winter, and we're throwing about 6 weeks worth of winter into a couple of days. That all started with snow in the mountains. Now we're looking at snow across the mid-Columbia and the lower elevations. It is currently snowing right now in the Tri-Cities, Walla Walla, just outside of Pendleton. High winds as well, so mixing that with the light snow, you may see poor visibility for the next couple of hours out on the roads. All valley locations have a chance of snow, with better chances farther east, closer along the foothills of the Blues, now until noon. That's where we're seeing the snow falling. And again, that's all beginning from early this morning until right now, just before 6 a.m. So Tri-Cities, Benton City, down to Umatilla, all seeing some of the thickest, the densest snow falling right now. It will be light, only an inch or so of accumulations across our lower elevations, higher amounts in the mountains, and Walla Walla to Pendleton. Again, you're seeing that snow fall right now. So plan your day. We've got just enough snow to create slick conditions, poor visibility at the 8 o'clock hour. You won't need the snow shovels today as we see things dry out, but we remain cold and clear overnight. Clouds for the afternoon hours. Temperatures only getting up into the 30s today. We are below freezing right now. A live look at the Legend Skycam network camera from Richland. We'll talk more about this snow coming up in your full forecast.
2 arrests have been made since the 2018 killing of Hunter Black in Kennewick, an 18-year-old who was shot and killed in what police call a targeted home invasion. KapKV's Riley Fitzgerald says police have identified a third suspect who they're looking for right now. She's tracking this investigation.
It's been more than 4 years since 18-year-old Hunter Black was killed in his home.
Sometimes when we start to investigate things, we just can't pull everything together. You know, we'll have witnesses that will give us pieces of the puzzle, but it takes time to really get it together.
Now, Kennewick police say they've identified all 3 suspects involved in his death. The first 2 suspects were in custody for unrelated charges. Lawrence Gross was taken in last April for a separate crime in Seattle. Months later, in June, police gained probable cause to arrest Wardell Braxton, who was already in custody in the Benton County Jail. Kennewick police have identified Cavante Conley as the third and final suspect in this case. According to police, they've gotten to the point that the prosecutor's office is ready to move forward with the formal charging and prosecution. Conley now has a warrant out for his arrest for the alleged crime of murder in the first degree. Police say Conley has contacted the Benton County Prosecutor's Office and confirmed the wanted status, but hasn't turned himself in.
So that's what we were told, is that that he has reached out to the prosecutor to confirm that he is in fact wanted for in connection with Hunter Black's death.
Which means closure hasn't quite come for Hunter Black's grieving family.
Any case, homicide, missing person, we don't close those cases out unless there's evidence to close it out, meaning we continue to assign those to detectives to continue to work.
Sergeant Littrell with the Kennewick Police Department says these cases don't usually take so long to close. He says for the family's sake, they would have liked to close it out a whole lot sooner. In Kennewick, Riley Fitzgerald, KapKV Local News.
If you have any information on the current whereabouts of Cavante Conley, the Kennewick police are encouraging you to call the non-emergency or dispatch at 509-628-0333 or provide an anonymous tip online. You can find that link on our website, yaktrinews.com. Pasco police and medical arrived to the scene of a shooting that happened late Tuesday morning on the 2600 block of West Octave Street. Police say the shooter called 911. The person who was shot was rushed to a local hospital in critical condition. Police say the person who allegedly shot the gun is being cooperative and has been detained, but is not in custody. They say the men likely knew each other and this was not a random attack. A follow-up in the search for a couple wanted in Franklin County for the death of a 7-year-old boy. The U.S. Marshals Service now offering 2 $25,000 rewards for Edgar Salvador Cassian Garcia and his girlfriend Araceli Medina. According to the Marshals Service, both are charged with aggravated murder in the first degree, rape of a child in the first degree, and assault of a child in the first degree. They have been elevated to the list of the 15 most wanted individuals. It is the first time a couple has been placed on that list. U.S. Marshals say Cassian Garcia's daughters turned up abandoned in Tijuana with signs of alleged abuse. Investigators launched the search for the couple after the discovery last February of the remains of a 7-year-old boy in Franklin County. They now think the couple fled to Mexico. Rudy Madrigal was walking on eastbound 240 on February 5th before being left for dead on the side of Highway 240 when he was hit by a vehicle. But investigators haven't identified a suspect vehicle yet. A Tri-Cities family says it was 2 young women who eventually stopped to help Rudy. Unfortunately, it was too late. There's very little to go on in this investigation. There aren't any cameras on that stretch of 240. That's why Rudy's family is doing everything in their power to spread the word, and they hope the person responsible will come forward. Rudy's sisters have this message for their brother's killer.
He was a son, he was a father, he was a brother. And so if you know anything, just think of your family. Think of those you love, just going through this exact same thing.
Rudy was a father to 3 children and comes from a mixed family with 12 children who say things will never be the same without him. And if you have any information about this hit and run, please contact Washington State Patrol. The Valley Mall in Union Gap is being sued by the family of a 23-year-old man shot and killed in the Sears parking lot in 2021. Police say he was an innocent bystander that got caught in a shootout between rival gang members. Cap KVU's Emily Goodell spoke with the lawyer representing the family, who says mall security knew the gangs were causing problems before the shooting and did nothing to stop it.
On August 22, 2021, rival gang members had a shootout in the parking lot of Sears at the Valley Mall in Union Gap, killing 23-year-old Jose Rivera de la Cruz, who authorities determined was an innocent bystander.
Mr. de la Cruz was standing outside with his friend, waiting to get picked up after having shopped at the mall that Sunday, and he was caught in the crossfire.
Lawyer Brian Mickelson, representing the victim's family in a lawsuit against CenterCal Properties, which operates the mall, claiming they failed to keep their shoppers, including De La Cruz, safe.
Not only is there a long history of gang violence, stabbings, shootings at this mall, on the particular day of the subject incident, they had notice as well of an ongoing feud between 2 violent street gangs.
The 911 call for shots fired came in at 4:31 p.m., but Mickelson says Slack messages show employees alerting security as early as 3:22 p.m., more than an hour before the shooting.
There had been reports of other gang members walking up to people, asking them whether they're affiliated with gangs. There are people flashing gang signs, showing off their gang colors, brandishing firearms.
In one case, the suit claims a man shopping with his family inside Claire's was attacked by a gang member. A concerned employee had already tried to call security about multiple times with no answer.
Whether they saw a weapon or not, that should immediately alert a reasonable person to take preventative measures and remove these dangerous persons from the premises, which was not done when they had plenty of time to do it.
The lawsuit claims violence at the mall involving gangs and inadequate security measures are an ongoing safety issue. De La Cruz, the 3rd person murdered on mall property in 5 years, all in incidents connected to gang violence. Mickelson says the mall needs to be held responsible.
Their hope in filing this lawsuit is to send a message to the mall and the security company such that they change their ways of doing business so that this doesn't happen to somebody else's child.
In Union Gap, Emily Goodell, Cap KVU, Local News.
And we reached out to the CenterCal Properties and got a statement back saying, while we were, of course, aware of the incident in 2021, we only very recently became aware of the existence of a lawsuit on behalf of the estate of Mr. De La Cruz. The event itself was a horrible, senseless tragedy that weighs heavily on all of us in the Yakima Valley community. While we have yet to digest the civil complaint, we do not perceive ourselves as mall managers or owners to be in any way responsible for the tragic events that occurred on that day. Our most sincere sympathies are extended to the families involved. You can find out who De La Cruz was and what he was doing for his family at yaktrynews.com. Chief Meteorologist Brianna Berman-Solo returns now with a look at your morning weather forecast.
Snow is falling across the region, and we're going to continue to see that light snowfall for the next couple of hours. I'll let you know what to expect in your extended forecast coming up.
Plus, the latest results from the biggest trial of the 4-day work week and how it could change the relationship between men and their children.
Does your property look like this? With 24/7 emergency service, First Choice Restoration will be on site for any disaster within the hour. They have the expert support you can trust. Never the call you want to make, always the first choice you should take. First Choice Restoration. We'll be there when you need us.
Why plow and slide your way through winter snow and muck when you could be cruising in a new Ford Edge or Explorer? They are waiting for you right now at Legends Casino Hotel during our Cruising into Cash Thursday drawings. Earn entries by using your Legends Rewards card to be eligible for cash prizes, including $10,000. Or claim a Ford Edge on January 26th or a Ford Explorer on February 23rd. Baby, let's cruise during Cruising into Cash at Legends Casino Hotel within winning distance.
Who did you let down today? Your wife? Your kids? Well, how about yourself? Take a look in the mirror. If you're tired of your drug and alcohol problem, you need to fix the problem, and right now, before you hurt or kill yourself, or worse yet, somebody else. Call the addiction specialist now at the Reset Addiction Treatment Helpline. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We'll find you the right treatment regardless of your financial situation. When you call right now, you'll speak to a recovering addict who understands what you're going through right now. Let us help you break your addiction to drug and alcohol before it's too late. This call is completely confidential and free. So take 5 minutes of your time and call us right now. We're here answering the phone. I promise it'll change your life.
Call 800-795-1262. That's 800-795-1262. Again, 800-795-1262.
My ex just posted a picture with a girl.
That girl is Hidayah Mozart. She's not. Ugh, I know. Should I be worried? Nell's fine. She just needs like a little nudge.
You guys are trying to set me up on dates? I am a professional woman journalist. Woman.
I hear that really opens up the palate.
Water damage comes from anywhere. With 24/7 emergency service, First Choice Restoration will be on site for any disaster within the hour. With the best restoration experts for water damage, you can trust us as your premier restoration partner. Never the call you want to make, always the first choice you should take. First Choice Restoration.
I didn't sleep last night.
Live with Kelly and Ryan. Today at 9 on Cap KVO.
Men participating in the world's biggest trial of a 4-day work week spent much more time with their children. That's according to results published Tuesday by the nonprofit organization 4-Day Workweek Global. Starting last June, about 2,900 workers across 60 companies in the United Kingdom worked 80% of their usual hours for 6 months for the same pay in exchange for promising to deliver 100% of their usual work. According to time diaries kept during the trial, the time male workers spent looking after their children rose by 27%. Among all workers, 60% said it was easier to combine their jobs with childcare. Coming up, extreme weather continues to be felt across the country from California to New Jersey. And it's a weather alert day for winter weather this week. That all makes a big comeback this morning. Chief Meteorologist Brianna Berman-Solo explains next.
This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get into Ford F-150. All amped up and ready for work or play. Get 0 for 36 plus 3,000 low APR cash on a 2022 F-150 XLT at your local Ford dealer.
Us. This isn't us. Is it? When did we get so connected to our devices and so disconnected from each other? And when our phones have turned us into this? LT, what do you do when you're a company that sells them?
We gotta fix this.
It's time to find what we're missing. Join us in taking a break from our devices. Take the phones down for 5 challenge for 5 days, 5 hours, or even just 5 minutes.
Feels good.
And let's find us again. U.S. Cellular. Built for us.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through March 31st, receive rebates up to $2,100 off on a new Daikin Fit system and thermostat when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
Imagine a knife taking this much abuse and didn't need sharpening. Introducing the incredible NutriBlade knives, coated with granite stone non-stick and made of stainless steel, one of the hardest substances on earth. Now everyone can chop, slice, and dice just like a pro. Order right now to get this professional 6-piece set of NutriBlades for just $29.95. We'll even ship them to you free. Get your own NutriBlade knives, the last knives you'll ever buy.
Ford Escape. It offers bliss with cross-traffic alert. And it's an IIHS top safety pick. It's built for America. Get 0 for 36 months plus $1,000 low APR cash on an in-stock 2022 Escape only at your local Ford dealer.
Watch Thursday at 9 on ABC and Camp KVUE, sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health, providing compassionate, high-quality care for over 75 years.
Next live, Taye Diggs and Shark Tank's Damon John. Plus, live returns to the Oscar stage for Live's After Oscar show.
It's gonna be a good time.
Today at 9 on Camp KVUE. Portion of Camp KVUE sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier. Now, Cap KVUE First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Brianna Berman-Solo.
Snow is falling right now. The Legend Skycam Network camera showing you that we're seeing windy conditions as well. You might not see the trees moving, but if you look closely enough or look for long enough, the camera is shaking. So that's indicating some blowing snow. And you can see that in the street light, the sideways movement of the snow there. I'll step into the picture so you can, I'll point out where the snow is falling in that sideways direction. This is going to cause difficult conditions as far as visibility is concerned with that blowing snow. You're seeing snow right now that's starting to accumulate on many of our side streets and untreated interstates. Look for high winds and light snowfall up to an inch in most valley locations for the next several hours until noon. Everyone across the Mid-Columbia has a chance of snow today. And we've seen fairly dry conditions so far through the Yakima and Kittitas valleys. Right now, Cle Elum, Ellensburg, Yakima, Toppenish are dry with snow that accumulated very early this morning coming to an end. Now we're seeing that snowfall shift. Everything, the cold air coming in from the north and the movement of many of the snow showers right now from west to east Tri-Cities, Benton City looking at snow. Right now that is falling, and that again has been accumulating about a half an inch so far. Another half inch is possible, and as we look to Walla Walla, Milton Freewater, snow is likely this morning, and that's falling right now. Pendleton will start to pick up, and the snow will start to stick here within the next hour to 2 hours. 7 a.m. this morning, Tri-Cities receiving another quick blast of snowfall, and once we hit that 10 o'clock hour, we're still seeing mostly dry conditions to the west. Yakima, you have a small chance of showers at 10 o'clock this morning. The snow will continue over the Blues, the foothills of the Blues until lunchtime today. Then we see drier conditions by the afternoon hours, mostly clear by the evening hours, and we'll see that snow track push to the south for Central Oregon. Much of the snow falls there tomorrow. Now today in the Tri-Cities, Hanford, Walla Walla, and Pendleton, anywhere from we'll bump up the Tri-Cities total anywhere between about a half an inch to 2 inches likely this morning. I'm keeping the weather alert in place today through tomorrow to let you know it is going to be very cold tonight. Even though the snow comes to an end this morning, the blowing snow, and we see freezing temperatures for tomorrow, it's really the overnight period through the very early morning hours, the coldest part of the day that I'm worried about today, tomorrow, and Friday, with the coldest mornings being Thursday and Friday of this week. We were in the 60s earlier this week, and now we're only in the 30s, below freezing for our high temperatures during the daytime hour Friday. nighttime hours, I should say, down into the teens Thursday, Friday night. So cold start to the weekend, but those temperatures will warm up again for the weekend and looking ahead to next week. And Yakima, breezy, blowing snow this morning. We'll see 20s for tomorrow and then upper 20s, lots of sunshine, mild to start off the weekend hours, and we'll be in the 40s to start off next week. Jill, I'll send it back over to you.
Now to that wild weather from coast to coast today. 150 million Americans in 38 states are on alert because of a massive cross-country storm causing extensive travel delays and power outages. From snow as far south as Los Angeles to heavy wind, ice, and blizzard conditions. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has more.
This morning, the Minnesota National Guard gearing up, preparing heavy-duty vehicles for rescues in the snow. A winter storm taking shape could make history. More than 2 feet of snow could fall in the Twin Cities. In the west, heavy snow keeping state employees in Utah home today, and authorities issuing an avalanche warning. It comes after 3 hikers were killed in Washington, an avalanche sweeping them about 500 feet down a mountain. The same winter storm is bringing some of the coldest air of the season to California. Ahead of the temperature drop, strong winds hitting the Bay Area, damaging homes and knocking down power lines. And on the East Coast, a rare event for February, a possible tornado causing extensive damage in southern New Jersey.
And then it got real dark, and then things started. I never seen the wind blew like I did.
At this apartment complex, dozens of trees uprooted, the roof split open, and cars smashed.
The wind started blowing at our sliding door over here, and then my wife and my one son were home with me, and then we just went into the bathroom, and then like 30 seconds later, my car's destroyed. It was over.
Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, New York.
When we return on Good Morning Northwest, a shortage in black physicians has some health experts concerned. Find out why next.
Traveling at freeway speed naturally increases your need to pay attention to road conditions. Merging, lane changes, exiting and entering the freeway require special skill. So stay alert and never text while driving.
Time for a new roof? Let Eminent Roofing replace it with a product so good you'll never have to replace it again. Our roofs come with a limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again. And with the rain, snow, and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Get your free roof assessment today. So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
My ex just posted a picture with a girl.
That girl is Hidea Mozart.
She's not.
Ugh, I know.
I hear that really opens up the palate.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Your roof protects your home and family every day. Shouldn't it be the best roof possible? With Air Roofing, a family-owned business in Prosser, you'll see why our customer reviews speak for themselves. No job too small, big enough to take care of your roofing needs. Air Roofing, a company built on quality and reputation.
Roscoe's Coffee, voted best in Tri-Cities for 2022. Maybe it's because our coffee is the freshest it can be, roasted right next door. Bring this great coffee into the comfort of your home. Pick it up in Richland or have it shipped directly to you.
With AARP Rewards, anyone can earn and redeem points. They're ready for you.
That's 300 points.
And help their money live longer. Get started for free today.
Traveling at freeway speed naturally increases your need to pay attention to road conditions. Merging, lane changes, exiting and entering the freeway require special skill. So stay alert and never text while driving.
Portion of KFKV sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Here's a look from earlier this morning from Mount Spokane. You can see blowing snow from the mountains as they're being groomed this morning, and that snow is falling in the valleys as well. Right now it looks like all major mountain passes are open, with traction tires being advised over Snoqualmie Pass, and it will continue to see that snow falling. No major traffic problems to report because of the snow in the Tri-Cities or Yakima. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning on this blast from winter and look ahead to the rest of the week in your extended forecast. Next, Jill.
Only 5.7% of physicians in the United States identify as Black or African American, and that proportion of doctors does not represent the communities they serve, as about 12% of the U.S. population is Black or African American. That's according to the latest data from the Association of American Medical Colleges. Research shows the percentage of Black physicians in the U.S. has risen very slowly over the past 120 years, and the number is still very low. According to a New England Journal of Medicine report, between 1978 and 2019, the number of medical school enrollees who identified as Black, Hispanic, or other underrepresented groups was well below the proportions each group represented in the general U.S. population. Many U.S. medical schools have a history of not admitting people of color. And in 2008, the American Medical Association issued an apology for its history of discrimination toward Black doctors. In 2021, the CDC declared racism a serious public health threat. Middle-aged workers who tend to earn low wages have a higher mortality risk. That's according to a study published in the medical journal JAMA. Researchers tracked employment and health metrics for about 4,000 workers in the U.S. for a 12-year period. All the participants were at least 50 years old when the study began and in their 60s at the end of the study. Workers with a sustained history of low wages were 38% more likely to die over the course of 12 years than those who never experienced low wage earning. Low wages are considered annual income below the poverty line for a family of 4. The mortality risk was more than twice as high for workers with unstable employment and sustained low wages. Coming up next, President Biden wraps up his tour of Europe amid Russian intercontinental ballistic missile testing.
It would appear that
the butler did it.
But this isn't a whodunit film. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select models.
Catch these offers while you can.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll get right to the point. It's the extended President's Day super sale at Denver Mattress.
President, what's that mean for the average American?
It means saving $100 off every $1,000 you spend.
And Tempur-Pedic?
With bipartisan support, we've allocated up to $500 savings on select mattress sets and a $300 gift.
And how will the people pay for these so-called savings?
Try 4 years no interest and free shipping. Hurry! The extended President's Day super sale at Denver Mattress ends soon.
Pure Filtration Products is your Inland Northwest indoor air quality specialist. With a 12,000 square foot warehouse of filters, you are sure to find what you need for your commercial, industrial, or manufacturing needs.
I recommend working with PFP because they have the product that I need.
PFP's high quality products can assist in eliminating airborne contaminants. PFP can size UV light to your system to disinfect the air to keep it clean and safe.
I recommend PFP because of their service, the quality of their product, and I'll keep coming back.
Call or come in and talk to one of our certified air filtration specialists.
When do you feel at home? When you're surrounded by loved ones? Or is it in the solitude of a quiet drive? For decades, we've called this community home and dedicated ourselves to helping those in it, in victories and in defeats, so that no matter where you go, you'll feel at home.
Find your next Mazda at McCurley Mazda and get 2.9% financing.
Welcome to the Village Bistro. We're happy you're here. I wanted to share with you some of the things we have on our menu. One of my favorite things is our lemon ricotta pancakes, topped with blueberries and powdered sugar and butter, and oh my, they are so delicious. You gotta try our 4-cheese mac and cheese or burgers. Some say they're the best in town. We love to get to know each customer that comes in, and we want you to feel like family when you're with us.
One of the main reasons you watch local news is weather. Cap K-View's powerful advanced technology helps us track the storms before they arrive, helping you plan for what's coming.
With more power and pinpoint accuracy, you'll get earlier warnings with a forecast you can trust.
It's the future of forecasting, and it's here now.
We're on air, online, and on the go with our mobile app. First Alert Weather from Can't Keep You Local News, helping keep you and your family safe.
It would appear that the butler did it.
But this isn't a whodunit film. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select models.
Catch these offers while you can.
This newscast sponsored by the Working Family Tax Credit.
President Biden is set to be back in the States today after a declaration of solidarity with Ukraine during his visit to Warsaw. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court is hearing arguments on landmark cases that could affect how you use the internet.
And we have a look at morning road conditions for this weather alert day. The snow is falling across the map. Your forecast right now.
From Can't Keep You Local News, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Jill Sperling.
And I'm Brianna Berman Solo. We are starting off with a very active weather day. You'll notice that as soon as you step outside, the wind is blowing and winter has made a big comeback. So we're alerting you now to the snow that's falling in the Tri-Cities, taking a look currently at the live look from the Legend Skycam Network camera in Richland. It looks like a winter wonderland where we were seeing and feeling springtime temperatures earlier this week. The winds brought in the very warm air Monday and Tuesday, and now for your Wednesday morning, the winds from the north are bringing in completely different conditions. So it is cold as winter makes a comeback. It's technically still winter on the calendar. February reminding us of that as we make our way towards the end of the month. Coldest temperatures moving in so far. Right now, that cold mixed with the moisture bringing snow to Spokane County down to our neighborhoods in the Tri-Cities, Walla Walla, Milton Freewater down to Pendleton, all seeing light snowfall right now. We'll see an inch or two this morning. Planning your day. It is cold, cold, cold. Our highs only get up into the 30s this afternoon after we're just right around freezing for the morning hours. This is a big dip in temperatures and we'll be even colder tonight. So we'll get you ready for the frigid finish to our week. This is the best chance of snow right now till about lunchtime for the remainder of the week. Then the cold sticks around and we'll look ahead to mild changes for the weekend ahead in just a little bit. But for now, plan on again about an inch of snow for the morning drive on this Wednesday. Jill, I'll send it back over to you.
President Biden meets today with NATO allies of the eastern flank following an impassioned speech in Poland, where he said Russia will never win in Ukraine. He's wrapping up his 4-day trip to Europe, which started with his bold visit to Ukraine. It was on that day we're learning Russia apparently carried out a failed test of an intercontinental ballistic missile capable of reaching the U.S. ABC's Em Nguyen has the latest from Washington.
This morning, as President Biden wraps up his 4-day trip to Europe, sources say the U.S. believes Russia carried out a test of an intercontinental ballistic missile capable of reaching the U.S., but it appears the launch failed. The test happening around the time Biden was in Ukraine Monday.
President Putin in Russia has been highlighting its development for quite some time. Specifically last year, about 2 months after the invasion of Ukraine, he was highlighting it as this most powerful weapon that would be able to defeat any American defenses.
The missile apparently able to carry 10 warheads and potentially travel farther and faster than old Russian designs. Sources say Russia notified the U.S. in advance of the launch.
So potentially maybe this launch was pegged to the big speech that he gave before the Russian Congress.
But Putin didn't mention the launch in his speech Tuesday, instead formally declaring that Russia will be temporarily suspending its participation in the New START treaty with the U.S., the last pact that regulates the two largest nuclear arsenals. News of the missile launch comes on the heels of President Biden's fiery speech in Warsaw, Poland, where he vowed the U.S. and its allies will not waver.
Ukraine will never be a victory for Russia. Never. The United States, together with our allies and partners, are going to continue to have Ukraine's back as it defends itself.
Today, Biden meets with leaders from the Bucharest Nine, reassuring those Eastern Flank NATO allies that his administration is on high alert for any threats that may be spurred by Russia's war.
When Russia invaded, it wasn't just Ukraine being tested. The whole world faced a test for the ages. All democracies are being tested.
President Biden is also expected to reassert to U.S. allies that NATO is stronger and more united now than before Russia's invasion, before he heads back to the White House later today. The roughly 7-month probe into Donald Trump's actions in Georgia after the 2020 election ended last week, but the matter is far from closed. Georgia grand jury foreperson Emily Kohrs says the panel is recommending multiple indictments. Kohrs didn't give specifics, but admitted Trump's name came up often. The former president has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing regarding the matter and claims the investigation was politically biased. He also released a statement last week saying he was exonerated by the grand jury. It's now up to Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis to review the recommendations and make charging decisions. The Supreme Court is hearing back-to-back oral arguments this week in 2 pivotal cases that could reshape online speech and content moderation while carrying significant stakes for the wider internet. Chris Wynn is in Washington with more on the legal battle ahead and how it could ultimately impact you.
At the Supreme Court, the battle over free expression online is coming to a head.
The way the internet works today may fundamentally change as a result of what the Supreme Court decides.
This week, 2 cases are being heard, and the outcomes could determine whether tech platforms and social media companies can be sued for recommending content to their users or for supporting acts of international terrorism by hosting terrorist content.
We have this very rare instance where a lot of people in DC agree that something needs to be done. They haven't been able to meet that point where they can actually agree on the answer.
At the heart of it all, Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, a 27-year-old federal law that protects websites like Google, Twitter, and others from lawsuits over what their users post online. Some Democrats, including President Joe Biden, say it prevents tech giants from being held accountable for spreading misinformation and hate speech. But many Republicans allege that it gives big tech a license to censor conservative viewpoints.
The Supreme Court's ruling exposes how vulnerable the internet is to regulatory interventions and how at risk we are of being faced with a very different internet.
Some experts question if the justices are equipped to make a sound decision, partly because they don't use social media enough to fully understand it.
It's a structural problem with Supreme Court that when they make legislative-like decisions, they don't have the expertise the legislature has, and they don't hear from all the people that might be affected.
Potentially adding to an uncertain playbook over how to regulate online speech. In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
The Supreme Court is set to hear arguments in a 3rd similar case tomorrow, but it often takes months before for the justices to announce a decision after hearing cases. Let's take another live look outside with Chief Meteorologist Brianna Bermasolo. Brianna, how are the roads looking for the early Wednesday morning drive?
Well, it's a very much a different picture than yesterday. A weather alert day as we've seen winter make a huge comeback. We'll talk about what to expect here locally, how long the snow sticks around, and just how cold it will be tonight in your extended forecast.
Plus, Starbucks is debuting a new drink with an interesting ingredient. We'll tell you more next.
E.T. followed by Extra tonight at 7 on Cap KVO.
Click-It RV Tri-City Superstore has gone mad with huge discounts on a huge selection of top brand RVs, which means the lowest prices, factory incentives, and rebates.
You guys gotta beat the spring rush and get in here now.
Shop online and find the floor plan you like, then build it, price it, and click it. Or come to the Pasco Autoplex. From travel trailers to fifth wheels, toy haulers to motorhomes, the huge indoor-outdoor RV show is here. Get a better RV and the lowest price guarantee. Only at Click-It RV Tri-Cities or ClickItRV.com.
Be a winner like me and get the Click-It RV.
This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get up and get into Ford F-150, part of F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight. All amped up and ready for work or play. Plus, there's a great selection in stock and ready for delivery today. So get into Ford Truck Month and see what a built Ford Tough truck can do for you. Get 0 for 36 plus $3,000 low APR cash on a 2022 F-150 XLT, only at your local Ford dealer.
Where's the most mouth-watering pizza and best salad bar in town? Well, Hubby's Pizza, of course. And with the lunch special starting as low as $10.49 for a 2-topping Pee-wee pizza and a medium drink, why go anywhere else? Delicious, mouth-watering food with only the freshest ingredients. It's lunchtime and I'm going to Hubby's Pizza, a hometown favorite for nearly 45 years.
I had occupational disease,
It's caused me a lot of back pain and knees where I've had to have surgeries. My wife recommended that she had heard about Smart Law. I called them, bam, got me in, listened to my story, made a decision right there that they were gonna take my case. I'll tell you, if you want someone that's gonna be good, that's someone that's gonna look out for your best interests, Smart Law. They stick to their plan and they keep you involved for your best interest because it's your health. Smart Law.
For over 600 different premium cigars, including every cigar rated 95 and higher in the last decade. It's The Educated Cigar. For 115 different fine pipe tobaccos and 55 different Briarwood pipes from England, Germany, and Italy. It's The Educated Cigar. For 95 and higher rated wines and White Bluff IPAs, it's The Educated Cigar in Richland.
It's Heart Health Awareness Month. Heart problem symptoms may include indigestion, heartburn, or extreme fatigue. There's more information at yaktrynews.com.
The Prosser Heart Center at Prosser Memorial Health offers a full spectrum of cardiology services, now accepting new patients. This is how we care.
Next live, Tay Diggs and Shark Tank's Damon John. Plus, live returns to the Oscar stage for Live's After Oscar show.
It's gonna be a good time.
Today at 9 on KVUE.
Starbucks is adding an unexpected ingredient to its newest cup of joe, olive oil. The coffee chain is introducing a new line of drinks made with a spoonful of extra virgin olive oil. The new line includes the Oleato Latte, the Oleato Ice Shaken Espresso, and the Oleato Golden Foam Cold Brew. The latte has in it oat milk and olive oil, while the espresso takes those two ingredients and adds a hazelnut flavor. Finally, the cold brew features a sweet milk foam infused with 2 olive oil servings. Starbucks will make the new beverages available at its cafes in Italy this week. Versions will then hit Southern California this spring. Starbucks says the drinks will eventually go global sometime this year. Brianna will have your first alert weather forecast coming up, and preparations are underway for the 2023 Miss Juneteenth pageant, and their scholarship program is looking for new recruits. That's next on Good Morning Northwest.
Click-It RV Tri-City Superstore has gone mad with huge discounts on a huge selection of top brand RVs, which means the lowest prices, factory incentives, and rebates.
You guys gotta beat the spring rush and get in here now.
Shop online and find the floor plan you like, then build it, price it, and click it.
Or come to the Pasco Autoplex.
From travel trailers to fifth wheels, toy haulers to motorhomes, the huge indoor-outdoor RV show is here. Get a better RV and the lowest price guarantee.
Only at Click-It RV Tri-Cities or ClickItRV.com.
Be a winner like me and get the Click-It RV.
Special report.
Spectrum just launched Spectrum One, where Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and unlimited mobile come together to keep you seamlessly connected wherever you are!
Switch to Spectrum One and get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and 1 free line of unlimited mobile with no contract. Call 1-833-743-4999.
The Coopers here just got Spectrum One. Why did you switch?
With Spectrum One, we get a super fast, reliable connection. Look, with Spectrum Internet, I can stream Spectrum News across all our devices.
And the advanced Wi-Fi has enhanced security and privacy features that automatically block online threats, keeping our family and devices safe and secure.
How reliable is Spectrum Mobile?
It's a super reliable service coast to coast.
And it includes nationwide 5G.
Switch to Spectrum One and get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and 1 free line of unlimited mobile with talk, text, and data. Call 1-833-743-4999 or visit a Spectrum store today.
Live better and love your home with the unique items and expert interior design you'll find only at Spencer Carlson. Our team of designers has given life to new construction and new life to remodeling projects for 30 years. Right now, during the President's event at Spencer Carlson, you can enjoy 30% off the upscale designs of case goods from Lexington Home Brands. Shop and save on fresh, innovative furnishings from Lexington. Spencer Carlson, unsurpassed furniture and design for life.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, Hermiston, and West Richland. Every location is conveniently located and gives you the lowest prices and largest selection of vape mods, the best batteries, tobacco products, kratom, and specialty products too. We have something for everyone, including gift cards for any occasion. Check out the specials and deals today. Open 7 days a week in 5 locations: Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, Hermiston, and West Richland. Smoke City for less. We smoke the competition.
You can't believe everything you hear. Like George Washington never chopped down that old cherry tree. But you can believe in big savings during the extended President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out special purchases while they last. Plus, 4 years, no interest financing. Shop the largest selection at the lowest prices, guaranteed. But hurry, the extended President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
I didn't sleep last night.
Live with Kelly and Ryan, today at 9 on Cap KVO. Now, Cap KVU First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Brianna Berman-Solo.
All right, it is a winter wonderland. If you peek outside, if you haven't gotten up, looked around, maybe take the dogs out, it is going to be much different than when you looked outside last night. So when most of us went to bed last night, there was no snow on the ground. And now as you look at the live image from Legend Skycam Network camera in Richland, we have a winter wonderland here. Spring has come to an end. It's technically still winter. February is reminding us of that this morning. And it all depends on location. Kittitas, Yakima Valleys have both stayed relatively dry. We saw huge amounts of snowfall over the Cascades. That's come to an end as well, but there will be difficult driving conditions to the west from snow. 2 feet of snow in the Cascades on average over the past couple of days. So check the mountain passes to the west. To the east, up over the Blues, we're seeing new snowfall right now, where we didn't see quite as much over the past 48 hours. So Tri-City is included in this. Benton City, the foothills of the Blues, Walla Walla, all seeing that snow as we speak. 1 inch or 2 through the morning hours. This is light snowfall, but it's all relative. We haven't seen snow this month so far like this. And again, you're looking at a close look here between Walla Walla, Pendleton. You'll find snow there as well. So we continue to plan out your day. This is a look. 30s this morning, 30s this afternoon. Our temperatures were in the 60s just 2 days ago, close to 60 degrees, and now winter is making a huge comeback before we get closer to spring next month. So high winds this morning, that light snow, all valley locations under a weather alert. It is a weather alert day until noon. We have this alert out because of blowing snow, and you see as we advance the clock here, by 10 o'clock this morning, the bulk of the snow has pushed east over the Blues, Tri-Cities, Walla Walla, Yakima, all drying out throughout the daytime hours today. And that snow should push to the south through central Oregon throughout the afternoon hours. So the alert for the high winds, the snow this morning, that will come to an end, but we are going to see the cold conditions continue. So any snowfall we see, anywhere from about 1 inch or 2 across the map, will fall this morning. That will accumulate, and our temperatures really aren't warm enough to melt off much of anything over the next couple of days. So we'll keep that weather alert going through at least Thursday into Friday morning. Temperatures are very cold overnight. Again, anything that's icy this morning from leftover snowfall will stick around through the end of the week. Then we start to warm up. Mild seasonal temperatures returning by the weekend, feeling a little bit more like spring Saturday, or at least Sunday, if not Saturday night. Monday, we're closer to 50 degrees, so a warm up will bring us through the end of the weekend and the start of next week in Yakima as well. Anything but warm today, tonight, through the end of the week. It is going to be frigidly cold Thursday night through Friday. Bitterly cold temperatures stick around through the start of the weekend. Planned on winter-like icy conditions through the end of the week. We'll see sunshine, mild temperatures returning on Sunday, and seasonal temperatures in the 40s for your afternoon highs the start of next week. Jill, I'll send it back over to you.
The Miss Juneteenth Scholarship Program is recruiting for its 2023 pageant. Eloise Sparks is the director of the program and says they spend Black History Month looking for African American girls who want to go to college.
It's a great opportunity to showcase their talents, to also to help them with even just like that self-image and self-encouragement. And we want to help these young ladies go to school. So it's an awesome opportunity for these young ladies to meet other girls from various high schools that they would probably never get a chance to meet.
Applications are open for girls in 10th through 12th grades. There is a $20 application fee and registration ends on February 28th. A popular fundraising event for the Miss Juneteenth Scholarship Program is back for its second year after being paused during the pandemic. The annual charity fashion show debuted in 2020, and it's back this Saturday night at the Holiday Inn Richland on the River. The event is called A Night on the Runway with Our Kings, and it features all male models from the ages of 32 to 80.
They will be modeling their attire from their closets, and so we have various categories that they'll be modeling in. It's a sports athletic, we have a pool party category, we have casual, and we also have business and formal. It's going to be so much fun on Saturday night.
The event includes dinner and costs $50 per person. Tickets need to be purchased by Thursday, and we'll have information about where to purchase tickets on our website, yaktrynews.com. We will be right back with the morning sprint and a final check on your forecast, but first, a look at what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, Buster Murdaugh breaking his silence.
It's nothing but the truth, so help you God.
For the first time, Alec Murdaugh's son speaking publicly about the murder of his mother and brother, taking the stand in his father's defense, sharing how close they all were.
I spoke to my mom every day, multiple times a day, and the like for my dad and for my brother too.
Alec looking on proudly, smiling at his son, who has been in court every day of this trial. Buster describing how his dad acted hours after the murder.
His demeanor was, he was destroyed. He was heartbroken. I walked in the door and saw him and gave him a hug and just broken down.
Could he speak?
Not really.
Was he crying?
Yes, sir.
And coming up at 7 a.m., Dan Abrams joins us live with how this testimony could affect the case. With your GMA First Look, I'm Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
There's a different way to treat HIV. It's every other month injectable Cabenuva. For adults who are undetectable, Cabenuva is the only complete long-acting HIV treatment you can get every other month.
Cabenuva helps keep me undetectable. It's 2 injections given by my healthcare provider every other month.
It's one less thing to think about while traveling.
HIV pills aren't on my mind. A quick change in my plans is no big deal.
Don't receive Cabenuva if you're allergic to its ingredients or if you're taking certain medicines which may interact with Cabenuva. Serious side effects include allergic reactions, post-injection reactions, liver problems, and depression. If you have a rash and other allergic reaction symptoms, stop Cabenuva and get medical help right away. Tell your doctor if you have liver problems or mental health concerns, and if you are pregnant, breastfeeding, or considering pregnancy. Some of the most common side effects include injection site reactions, fever, and tiredness. If you switch to Cabenuva, attend all treatment appointments.
Every other month, and I'm good to go.
Ask your doctor about every other month Cabenuva.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time right now is 6:50. We're going to get to Brianna's local forecast in a moment, but first a look at this morning's top stories. An avalanche on Kolchak Peak, which is in the Cascades near Leavenworth, is blamed for killing 3 people. Northwest Avalanche Center says a group of 6 got caught up in the avalanche in the backcountry on Sunday. The center says the avalanche killed 3 people and injured a 4th. Right now, that entire region is under high avalanche danger, which is a 4 out of 5. Pasco police and medical arrived to the scene of a shooting that happened late Tuesday morning on the 2600 block of West Octave Street. Police say the shooter called 911. The person who was shot was rushed to a local hospital in critical condition. Police say the person who allegedly shot the gun is being cooperative and has been detained but is not in custody. They say the men likely knew each other and this was not a random attack. Kennewick police have arrested 2 people suspected in connection with the death of 18-year-old Hunter Black. Police say he was shot and killed during a targeted home invasion in 2018. Now investigators have identified a 3rd robbery and murder suspect. They have a warrant out for Cavante Enoch Conley. All 3 suspects in this case are being charged with the murder. Police say that's because in Washington, if there are multiple participants involved in a robbery that results in someone's death, they can all be charged with murder.
Yes, if all the people that were involved in
in a crime that ultimately then led to this person being murdered, in this case Hunter Black, they can all be charged with the same crime.
Again, police have a warrant out for Conley. They're working to track him down. If you know where he is, you can call the non-emergency police line, or you can go online and leave an anonymous tip. We have a link to help you do that on our website, yaktrynews.com. Authorities have released the names of the people involved in a fatal shooting in Grandview. The Yakima Police Department says 29-year-old Luis A. Virueta was shot and killed by Yakima County Sheriff's Deputy John Duggan after officers responded to a noise complaint. Grandview police later said that a man with a gun was at the complex and had fired his weapon. Duggan has been placed on administrative leave, and the case is under investigation by the Yakima Valley Special Investigations Unit. An apparent swatting prank led to at least 2 Hermiston, Oregon schools placed on lockdown. It happened around noon yesterday. A shots fired phone call sent authorities to Hermiston High School and sent the school into lockdown. West Park Elementary also went into lockdown due to its close proximity to Hermiston High. Authorities believe this is a case of swatting, which is a prank phone call meant to summon a large law enforcement response. Several schools received swatting calls yesterday, according to authorities. The high school received clearance a half hour later to return to normal operation. This weekend, the Seasons Performance Hall is hosting the first ever Under the Valley Film Festival. It's a collection of independent filmmakers showcasing their work that might not get exposure elsewhere. Local filmmakers from the Yakima Valley and Pacific Northwest across the country, in Florida and New Orleans, and even some across the world from Haiti, Argentina, and Israel have worked to showcase. Organizers say it's all about solidifying the next generation of filmmakers and celebrating diversity.
A lot of people have been very scared about doing things like this because they don't know how it's going to be received. We wanted to take that chance on faith, and we hope that they'll reward us very well by making sure to support what's going to be for another generation.
Tickets are $25 online on the Seasons Performance Hall website. The event will be on Saturday from noon to 9 o'clock. The Tri-City Dust Devils kick off the 2023 season in April with some new people to the coaching team, as well as some who have been around before. Cactus Jack Howell returns for his second year as the Dust Devils manager. Daryl Ebert, vice president and general manager with the Dust Devils, says Cactus Jack was a Major League Baseball player for more than a decade, which Ebert says brings some unique insight to the team.
Yeah, I mean, Jack is a longtime big league player himself. He played in the big leagues for about 10 seasons in the Angels system. So he is, I think he takes a unique approach in being able to connect with the players from a guy that's been there. So he knows what it takes to get to the big leagues, and I think that's really good for the players.
Ebert says Howell is called Cactus Jack Howell because he's from Tucson, Arizona. The Dust Devils season starts in about 6 weeks. You can find information on buying tickets on our website, yaktrynews.com. The Tri-City Americans are headed to the 2023 WHL playoffs after the Seattle Thunderbirds managed to knock off the Victoria Royals last night. The Americans managed to clinch the 4th seed in the upcoming WHL playoffs despite a loss to Kelowna. The last time the AMs made the postseason was in 2019, before the pandemic, where they lost to the Everett Silvertips 4-1.
And it is a winter wonderland right now. We were in the 60s, close to it earlier this week, and now we're in the 30s. Temperatures have dropped quickly. The snow moved in just as quickly. If you went to bed last night, there was no snow on the ground. It is a much different picture this morning. You can see that from our live look in Richland. And eastern Washington, Oregon, all receiving light snowfall this morning, with the highest snow amounts in the Tri-Cities, Walla Walla and Pendleton, 1 to 2 inches this morning. Now, I mentioned the winds. It is breezy, so you'll see blowing snow as well. All valley locations underneath a weather alert until noon today because of the snowfall, and then it's cold temperatures that will allow for icy conditions to form overnight and again tomorrow morning. So make sure that you stay prepared for, again, this is not a huge snow event, but it's the most snow we've seen in a while. Many of us were already looking ahead to spring, winter making this very icy comeback. Tri-Cities, Walla Walla down to Hermiston, seeing the bulk of the snow right now. Again, it is very light, and our temperatures that were in the 30s very early this morning, now in the 20s, a sign that cold air continues to funnel right down the mid-Columbia, and it will be cold this afternoon. We'll be up to 33 degrees by 8 o'clock this morning, just above freezing, so that snow continues until lunchtime. Clear, cold, and dry by tonight, but clear and cold conditions through the end of the week will allow for temperatures to get even colder looking ahead to Thursday night. A weather alert day tomorrow because, again, this is colder weather than we're used to this time of year, colder than we've been used to this month so far. Feeling a little bit more like spring by the time we get to the end of the weekend. 49 degrees, close to 50 degrees by the start of next week. Only 30 degrees for our high today in Yakima. Light snow this morning. That snow has pretty much come to an end, but you'll see a few more flakes before noon. Teens overnight, close to single digits by tomorrow night, alerting you to the cold for the rest of the week, mild by the finish to our weekend.
On Good Morning Northwest.